Hello, welcome to Women's Financial Empowerment Group. I'm your host, Ruth Agboso. If this is your first time here, thank you so much for visiting my channel. Please subscribe, like this video, and share it with your friend. And if you've been here before, thank you so much for your support. Please go ahead and like, share, do all those wonderful things. Oh, and hit the notification bell. That way you'll know whenever I upload a new video. I am a financial coach, and on this channel we discuss all things financial. If you feel like you need someone to help you get your financial house in order, whether it be budgeting, goal setting, whatever it is, see my information in the description box and let's figure out whether or not we'd be a good fit to work together. In today's video, I'll be talking about what to do with your stimulus check. So let's get right into it. I'm sure by now you've noticed that many people have gotten a stimulus check, and many people are talking about what to do with that stimulus check. The first thing I want to say is that's your money and you get to do whatever you want with it. However, what you decide to do with it from here on in can greatly impact your future. Now, I listened to Susie Orman, who I really admire in the financial industry, and she says, don't spend it, don't put it in the stock market. However, I would say it depends on your situation. So if you are in a situation where you're behind on your bills, maybe you've lost your job due to COVID or some other reasons, then it's important that you use some of that money to get caught up with your bills. Notice that I said some of that money because you want to make sure that you have some cash on hand. If you use it all for the bills, then you won't have anything if something else were to come up. It's important to always have some cash on hand. There's other things you could do with the money, particularly if you are in a financial position to do other things with the money. So for instance, if you have a retirement fund, this would be a great time to max that fund out. Make sure that you are putting in as much money as possible. It is also a good time to invest in the stock market. Many probably believe that, and there are others that don't believe that. But I think it's a great opportunity to take advantage of the stock market. Of course, if you can financially take that risk, because investing in the stock market does have risk involved. Also, you can use some of your money to put towards a charity that you really like, that you've been meaning to donate to, or someone else who may be in need. This may be a great time to buy the supplies that you need for your home or clothing, or do those repairs that you've been dying to do. And you can even put money down on some larger purchases that you've been putting off. So this is a great time to have that money, which is a windfall, you go towards whatever you want, basically. But the number one thing that I would recommend you do with your money is to have an emergency fund. If you don't already have one, I would definitely suggest you have one. If you can afford to not put anything towards bills because you're already caught up or anything like that, then I would say put most of your money towards. If you are in a financial situation where you can afford to put most of your money into an emergency fund, I'd highly recommend it. And here's why. When COVID hit and the lockdown took place, many people were out of work. And so week number 1, no check. Week number 2, no check. And it added up. There was some relief here and there before the first stimulus, but for the most part, people were hit really hard financially. And why it was such a devastation is because a lot of people just didn't have an emergency fund. I like to call an emergency fund an umbrella. So if you don't have an umbrella and you go outside in the rain, you're gonna get wet. So you want to make sure that you have an emergency plan an emergency fund in place. And I did a video on how to figure out how much money you need to put in an emergency fund, how to set that up. So go ahead and take a look at that video. It's going to be linked below and, see how that works. But I suggest that you have at least a year saved up. Some people recommend more, some people recommend less, but definitely a year I think is a sweet spot. Obviously, if you're just starting out, you're not going to have a year saved up right away. It takes time to really build that up, but I really recommend that you go ahead and start putting money away in an emergency fund. So an emergency fund has liquidity. It's money that you can grab if there's an emergency, and it's not tied up into like a CD or something else that you're gonna receive a penalty if you take it out. So that would be my number one suggestion for what to do with your emergency fund. Yes, there's lots of other things that you can do with this money. Again, it is your money, so no one can really tell you what to do with your money. You can go shopping, you can go on a vacation, you can do whatever you want, but just keep in mind that the decision that you make today is going to have an impact on you later on down the line. I hope this video has been helpful to you, and if you haven't done so already, please do me a favor and like this video and share it. And remember, change your mind, change your pocketbook.